Hey, I am Kedger on two wheels, and Great Britain is having a rash of bike thefts. So, I said Great Britain on purpose because I don't think this is also extendable to Northern Ireland, or else I would say the UK, but that might be wrong. And I didn't say England because this most definitely involves Wales and Scotland. So, what the hell is going on in London particularly? Royal Jordanian almost got his bike jacked by some very shifty guys. I've been hearing reports of people in the UK having their bikes stolen constantly, and in later news, just today, I found out that Premises 187 has had his CBR 600RR stolen. What the hell? What's going on there? Come on. Doesn't your police do something? Okay, granted, bike theft is a problem all across the world because these things are expensive and they are relatively easy to nick, but come on, seriously? This begins to sound like proper organized bike thefts. And I know Portuguese police are actually quite active on this, and they actually go after these kinds of organized crime, and they're actually quite successful. The justice part of it, that's another story, but the police are generally pretty effective. Why not there? What? They don't care? The reports I've been seeing is that cops don't seem to care. It's their job! Come on! Get a group going, get some I don't know, some association, get your local bike association and start pressuring politicians and cops, because that's absolutely ridiculous. This is a pretty expensive piece of kit, so they're withdrawing more money from a single person than if they went and robbed a bank. Okay, then how come when they rob banks the police get straight on the case, but when they rob 8,000 pounds in bike, never mind, they'll show up eventually, maybe. We don't have resources to go after them. Oh, by the way, if anyone gets the bike stolen and the cops say that, I'm sorry, we don't have resources to pursue the case. Just answer, okay, then I'll go rob a bank for the amount of this, and since it's the same value, you'll probably not be able to pursue the case because you don't have resources, right? Right? No? Ah, okay. Well, see, that's the problem. Oh, that and the obligatory James May quote that from now on, Premises, from now on, whenever the cops stop you, you always have to say, let me guess, you found my bike. No, I was speeding, and what the hell? It isn't, then why the hell are you stopping me? Because seriously, that really pisses me off. Some people work their asses off for their bike. And in some countries, I don't know how the UK is, but here is like that. Here it is prohibitively expensive to get an all-inclusive insurance. So bikes here, with very few exceptions, only have third-party insurance, which means if you fall, you're boned. If someone steals your bike, you're really boned. You have no protection whatsoever. You can only keep paying to the bank the bike that was stolen, and then get a new loan for the new bike. That's the only thing you can do. And when I say prohibitively expensive for the insurances, that's another topic, because you guys will be laughing at me. You will, I know, because I know how expensive insurance is in the UK. Well, let's just say that my insurance is, well, not very expensive, but not really cheap, and it is 140 euros a year. And I complain. I wanted it to be under 100 per year, not month, year. And we complain. So, but this is only third party with a minimum value of €1 million or something like that, or insurance value of €1 million or something like that. And the full coverage would be something like some €900 a year, which would mean that in like 4 years I'd be paying the whole price of the bike, which is ridiculous. That's the company saying me, well, in 4 years you are going to total the bike or it's going to get stolen, so you're going to have to pay everything back, which is ridiculous. But what the hell, I know your insurance is way worse. It is basically a racketeering market there. It's ridiculous, and it actually gives me half a mind to see how to start an insurance company in the UK and start one with much lower price, like 50% of the price, and see what happens to the market then. That would be awesome. I could be actually rich if I do that. There has to be some reason for it to be so expensive, some legal reason for that. Because I don't understand why one of them doesn't just cut their prices in half and say, okay, half price for everyone, come on board please. Yeah, it would be funny. Okay, yeah, whatever. The issue here is bike thefts, and well, what can you do with bike thefts? Not much really. If they really want your bike, they're gonna get your bike, even if it means doing a bike jacking. But okay, but you can make your bike less susceptible, which means stick it, chain it to something really solid. Don't leave the chain on the ground if possible. That's a common mistake, because if you leave your chain, when you chain your bike to some solid object, if it's then on the ground, you give a great leverage point to be able to break the chain. Now, if instead of sticking it on the ground, you leave the bike chain so tight that the chain that's holding the bike to the object so tight that it goes floating in the air, they don't have that leverage. They have to leverage it against nothing, so they're bound, and it's much harder. What the frack was this? Right? Is everyone okay here? There was one guy walking. Now that's enough. No, I'm not going to get involved in this one. I usually stop for these kinds of accidents, but I'm in a hurry because my kids are alone at home. Wife just had to leave, so I have to get going. The older one is taking care of his little brothers, but he's too young to be caring for them for much longer. Half an hour is acceptable, so I have to get home. Sorry, but I usually stop for these, see if everyone's okay, especially if the car flipped over. See if I can give any assistance. If I can't give any assistance, I get going. Or whenever someone appears that has more experience, firemen, etc., then I get going. You never know if you can help or not. Okay, whatever. Bike thefts. I don't know. Comment below and tell me what the hell is going on there, because this is really odd. Is it always like this? Is it worse? Here I can leave my bike parked on the sidewalk or on the parking spots on the streets all day long with no disc lock, and it's not going to be nicked. Generally, my NC700 was 2 years living on the streets, except at home. At home it was, because it's nighttime, at home it was inside the it's not the garden, it was inside my property, closed off, not quite a garage, but it was inside it's an open garage, it had no ceiling, so it stayed there. That's not an issue. But at work, all day long in front of the office, not an issue. I wasn't worried. This one I might be a bit more worried. It's a bit more tasty instead of the NC700s. And if you have a CBR 600RR, then you have to start being careful, because yeah, the bikes do get stolen here. They do break into your garage and then take the bike out. I have a story of a guy that got his bike stolen, and the thieves actually ordered pizza because they took the whole night to get the bike out. That's the problem with being in a closed garage. They had the whole night to do it with no problems. Going to the amount of ordering for pizza. But yeah, here, yeah, it's a problem everywhere, but here's nowhere near what I see in the UK. What the hell is going on there? Please comment below with your country and how it is in your country. I've also heard from a motovlogger that in South Africa, anything that is not physically glued to the bike is gonna disappear. For example, here I could leave the bike with this ram mount on the street, and depending on the neighborhoods, could go well. And it's just unscrewing this. On the other hand, I stopped my bike for, I shit you not, 10 minutes on a slightly shadier neighborhoods, and they stole my GoPro adapter, which was stuck here. Not on this bike, on the NC700. It was that little GoPro adapter to stick the remote onto a normal GoPro thingy. Just a little piece of plastic. It was the only thing that could be removed by just unscrewing a little bolt and running, and that's what they did in less than 10 minutes. Was pretty miffed on that one. But yeah, comment below your country, how it works in your country, if it's really bad, if it's somewhat bad, how it is. That wasn't for me, that was for the big truck who followed me into the roundabout. Yeah, so that's it. Best of wishes to Promises 187. I really hope he gets his bike back in one piece, instead of one of my subscribers which asked me to share his bike being stolen on Facebook because it had just been stolen, and I had just met him a couple of days earlier on the highway. And later that afternoon the police got his bike back. It was abandoned in some sort of one of these, an open field, and he got his bike back, but minus wheels, levers, pedals, mirrors, the Akaprovich exhaust, and a lot of other stuff. Lots of damage on that bike, and he basically is boned and has to pay for the repairs himself, which are going to be really expensive. Actually, I haven't followed up. I wonder how that went. I have to message him, ask him how did that end up? Did it get solved? Did they catch the guys? What? Did he manage to get some insurance on that somehow? Oh, we have a thing about insurances I wanted to talk to you about. I'll do an extra video on the insurances, but we have something which called the how am I going to translate this? Automotive liability funds, which is a fund to which all insurance companies have to provide for. And the reason, the objective, the purpose of that is that, say that car crashes into me, this car in front, he crashes into me, it's his fault, so he has to pay for my repairs, everything on my repairs, medical bills, everything, okay? As usual, as it should be. But he doesn't have insurance. Now, as it happens in some less progressed countries like the USA, I have to sue him specifically for the money. If he doesn't pay me, I'm going to have to sue him for the money. It goes into justice, I have to pay for a lawyer, blah 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 blah, and then eventually he's ordered to pay me X, Y or Z. Sorry about that, I didn't see you. Then he's ordered to pay me X, Y or Z, okay? Which then creates a whole new slew of problems because he doesn't have enough money, and then it's a nightmare. Here, no, I go into that warranty fund and say, I've had a crash, this guy did not have insurance. Actually, supposedly, my own insurance company does that, but in practice, they're going to push that onus onto me. But yeah, I go to that and say, I had a crash, I show them the paperwork and file a complaint. This guy did not have insurance, you guys pay me, and they have to pay me. I'm not sure if it's 100%. I'm fairly sure it's a very high percentage, like 80 or 90% of the damages. But I might be wrong, and it might be actually 100% compensation for the accident. I think it's something like that. The point of this is that since I had damage done to me, or my equipment, or my bike, or my property, that was not my fault. The third party has legally to pay and reset this. The actual language on the law is he has to reset it back to how it was before the accident. It's lost in translation, but yeah, that's the whole thing. So yeah, we have that liability fund which helps with these cases. I'm not sure if that guy managed to do that somehow. Maybe he's filing a complaint against unknowns and then filing for that liability fund. Not sure. It's far-fetched. No. But yeah, how do you guys deal with that in the UK? I guess you have insurance, so you're okay. Yeah, they stole my bike. I'll just get the insurance money. But how do you guys deal with that? Please comment. How do you guys deal with that? Damn it! What the hell? What's the problem with you, mouth? Tell me how you guys deal with it. How dangerous it is to park a bike outside. For example, I could park the bike right here, not here on the right, but on the left, because on the right we hit by cars, but they're on the left, and go, say, into the middle of that field to take some photographs for some reason, and not worry one iota if someone's going to nick my bike while I'm over there on the field. I've done that. I've stopped in remote places for hours away from the bike taking pictures. Not worried at all. Okay, it's a possibility, but it's so small that I really don't worry about it. Now, if I would park in the shady spot, I wouldn't leave the bike even 10 meters away from it, but that depends on the places, of course. Okay, yeah, that's it. It's been way too long, way longer than I wanted, but okay, best of wishes to all of you who have had your bike stolen. Worst of wishes to the thieves that steal the bikes. May your nuts be trampled into paste by a raging horde of buffaloes. And then may those buffaloes stick their horns. Cage routes.